Lansing is the capital of the U.S. state of Michigan. It is located mostly in Ingham County, although portions of the city extend west into Eaton County and north into Clinton County. The 2010 census placed the city's population at 114,297, making it the fifth largest city in Michigan. The population of its Metropolitan Statistical Area was 464,036, while the even larger Combined Statistical Area population, which includes Shiawassee County, was 534,684. It was named the new state capital of Michigan in 1847, 10 years after its admittance as a state. The Lansing Metropolitan Area, colloquially referred to as Mid-Michigan, is an important center for educational, cultural, governmental, commercial, and industrial functions. The area is home to 2 medical schools, 1 veterinary school, 2 nursing schools, 2 law schools including Western Michigan University and Michigan State University a Big Ten Conference university, the Michigan State Capitol, the State Supreme Court, the Court of Appeals, a federal court, the Library of Michigan and Historical Center, and headquarters of 4 national insurance companies. Lansing is the only U.S. state capital that is not also a county seat. The seat of government of Ingham County is Mason, but the county maintains some offices in Lansing. History: the first recorded person of European descent to spot the area that is now Lansing was explorer Hugh Heward in 1790 while canoeing the Grand River. The land that was to become Lansing was surveyed as Township 4 North Range 2 West in February 1827 in what was then dense forest. It was the last of the county's townships to be surveyed, and the land was not offered for sale until October 1830. There would be no roads to this area for decades to come. In the winter of 1835 and early 1836, 2 brothers from New York plotted the area now known as Rio Town just south of downtown Lansing and named it Biddle City. All of this land lay in a floodplain and was underwater during the majority of the year. Regardless, the brothers went back to Lansing, New York, to sell plots for the town that did not exist. They told the residents of the New York town that this new city had an area of 65 blocks, contained a church and also a public and academic square. A group of 16 men bought plots in the non-existent city and upon reaching the area later that year found they had been scammed. Many in the group, too disappointed to stay, ended up settling around what is now Metropolitan Lansing. Those who stayed quickly renamed the area Lansing Township in honor of their home village in New York. The settlement of fewer than 20 people would remain dormant until the winter of 1847 when the state constitution required that the capital be moved from Detroit to a more central and safer location in the interior of the state. Many were concerned about Detroit's proximity to British-controlled Canada, which had captured Detroit in the War of 1812. The United States had recaptured the city in 1813, but these events led to the dire need to have the center of government relocated away from hostile British territory. There was also concern with Detroit's strong influence over Michigan politics, being the largest city in the state as well as the capital city. During the multi-day session to determine a new location for the state capital, many cities, including Ann Arbor, Marshall, and Jackson, lobbied hard to win this designation. Unable to publicly reach a consensus because of constant political wrangling, the Michigan House of Representatives privately chose the township of Lansing out of frustration. When announced, many present openly laughed that such an insignificant settlement was now the capital city of Michigan. 2 months later, Governor William L. Greenlee signed into law the act of the legislature officially making Lansing Township the state capital. With the announcement that Lansing Township had been made the capital, the small village quickly transformed into the seat of state government. The legislature gave the settlement the temporary name of the town of Michigan. In April 1848, the legislature then gave the settlement the name of Lansing. Within months after it became the capital city, individual settlements began to develop along 3 key points along the Grand River in the township. Lower Village Town, where present-day Old Town stands, was the oldest of the 3 villages. It was home to the first house built in Lansing in 1843 by pioneer James Seymour and his family. Lower Town began to develop in 1847 with the completion of the Franklin Avenue covered bridge over the Grand River. Upper Village Town, where present-day Rio Town stands at the confluence of the Grand River and the Red Cedar River. It began to take off in 1847 when the Main Street Bridge was constructed over the Grand River. This village's focal point was the Benton House, a four-story hotel which opened in 1848. It was the first brick building in Lansing and was later razed in 1900. Middle Village Town, where downtown Lansing now stands, was the last of the three villages to develop in 1848 with the completion of the Michigan Avenue Bridge across the Grand River and the completion of the temporary Capitol building which sat where Cooley Law School stands today on Capitol Avenue in between Allegan and Washtenaw Streets, and finally the relocation of the post office to the village in 1851. This area would grow to become larger than the other two villages up and down river. For a brief time the combined villages were referred to as Michigan, but was officially named Lansing in 1848. In 1859, the settlement having grown to nearly 3,000 and encompassing about 7 square miles in area was incorporated as a city. The boundaries of the original city were Douglas Avenue to the north, Wood and Regent Streets to the east, Mount Hope Avenue to the south, and Jennison Avenue to the west. These boundaries would remain unchanged until 1916. Lansing began to grow steadily over the next 2 decades with the completion of the railroads through the city, a plank road, and the completion of the current Capitol building in 1878. Most of what is known as Lansing today is the direct result of the city becoming an industrial powerhouse which began with the founding of Olds Motor Vehicle Company in August 1897. The company went through many changes, including a buyout, between its founding to 1905 when founder Ransom E. Olds started his new Rio Motor Car Company, which would last in Lansing for another 70 years. Olds would be joined by the less successful Clark Mobile around 1903. Over the next decades, the city would see itself transformed into a major American industrial center for the manufacturing of automobiles and parts, among other industries. The city continued to grow in area too. By 1956, the city had grown to 15 square miles, and doubled in size over the next decade to its current size of roughly 33 square miles. Today, the city's economy is now diversified among government service, healthcare, manufacturing, insurance, banking, and education. Notable events Elephant incident. On September 26, 1963, a 12-year-old, 3,000-pound female dancing elephant named G rebelled against her trainer during a performance in a shopping center circus near what was then Logan Street and Holmes Road in Lansing, and escaped into the streets, aggravated by the frenzied pursuit of nearly 4,000 local residents. The incident ended with the shooting of the elephant by Lansing police. Provoked by the growing crowd, G's rampage took her through the menswear, sporting goods and gift departments of a local Arlen's discount store before leading police on a 2-mile chase in which she knocked down and injured a 67-year-old man, tried to move a car, and caused thousands of dollars in damage before being subdued. Life magazine quoted G's trainer, William Pratt, as shouting at the scene, "Damn these people. They wouldn't leave her alone." The incident was widely reported, including a photo spread in Life. While the Lansing State Journal coverage stressed the danger of the incident, the Detroit Free Press noted that witnesses cried out "Murderers! Murderers!" as police fired 8 shots. Author Nelson Algren cites the injustice and sad end of the pursuit of Reggie, the pixie-eared elephant in continuity with the ambush of Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow and his introduction to a 1968 biography of the Outlaws. Then teenage Lansing residents who had goaded the elephant on recalled the incident with sober regret in a local newspaper retrospective in 2011. Timeline 1825 a Lansing Township is surveyed. 1836 a pair of New York speculators plot and market a non-existent city known as Biddle City. The New Yorkers that bought into the idea arrive in Lansing to discover that the plot they had bought are located in a marsh, and are underwater. Some of the pioneers stay, but develop a village in what is now Old Town Lansing a mile north of the non-existent Biddle City. 1847 euro the state capital moves from Detroit to Lansing Township. 1855 euro Michigan State University is founded as the Agricultural College of the State of Michigan. 1859 euro the city of Lansing is officially incorporated with about 3,000 citizens inside 7.5 square miles. 1879 euro new state capitol dedicated. The structure cost $1,510,130. 1881 euro Michigan Millers Insurance Company founded. 1883, Judge Rollin H. Person begins his private law practice in Lansing after serving as a district judge. The firm, known today as Fraser Trebilcock, plays an integral role in the development of the Lansing business community, when firm attorneys assist Ransom Eels in obtaining property for the first Olds Motorworks in a facility in Lansing. 1897 euro Ransom Eels drives his first car down a Lansing street. Later that year he founds the Olds Motor Vehicle Company, which would become the Oldsmobile division of General Motors in 1908. He was also the founder of the REO Motor Car Company in 1904, both headquartered in Lansing. 1904 euro the most extensive flood in 135 years of local history causes the Grand River to overflow its banks on March 24 euro 27, leading to major damage and one death. Bridges at Logan Street, Kalamazoo Street, Cedar Street and Mount Hope Road are all washed away. The Kalamazoo Street Bridge lodges against the Michigan Avenue Bridge. It is later salvaged and re-erected at Kalamazoo Street. 1910 euro the population of the city nearly doubles from the 1900 census to 31,229. 1912 euro the Accident Fund Insurance Company of America founded. 1916 euro Auto Owners Insurance Company founded. 1929 euro the Lansing Symphony Orchestra founded. 1940 euro Lansing's population stagnates, only rising by 356 over the decade to 78,753. 1954 euro Franda Mall opens a euro first in the area, and second in the state. 1956 euro the city reaches 15 square miles in size. 1957 euro Lansing Community College founded. 1959, new City Hall and Police Department buildings are opened. 1959, Lansing's centennial is celebrated. 1960 euro the city's population finally breaks the 100,000 mark at 107,807. 1961 euro Jackson National Life Insurance Company founded. 1965 euro the city reaches 33.3 square miles in size. 1970 euro Lansing reaches its peak population of 131,546. 1972 euro the Thomas M. Cooley Law School founded. 1980 euro Lansing's population declines for the first time, losing 989 to hit 130,414. 1989 euro the Library of Michigan and Historical Center near the Capitol Complex are dedicated. 1992 euro the Michigan State Capitol completes an extensive renovation to restore it to its original grandeur. 1998 euro Mayor David Hollister signs a $425 agreement with Eaton Township in September to facilitate the development of the headquarters of Jackson National Life Insurance Company. 1999 euro Mayor David Hollister signs a $425 agreement with Meridian Township in November to facilitate the development of the Governor's Collection College Fields upscale housing development and golf course. 2000 euro Lansing's population experiences its greatest drop in its history, falling over 6% over the preceding decade to 119,128. 2001 euro GM opens new assembly plant, Lansing Grand River Assembly. Builds the Cadillac CTS, STS, SRX and V-Series. The architecture of the assembly plant resembles a high-tech research facility instead of a traditional factory. 2002 euro the Hall of Justice at the west end of the Capitol complex is dedicated. 2004 euro last Oldsmobile rolls off the assembly line at Lansing Car Assembly on April 29. This same year the Thomas M. Cooley Law School becomes the largest law school in the nation. 2005 Mayor Tony Benevides signs a series of 425 agreements with Delta Township and General Motors facilitating the development General Motors Lansing Delta Township Assembly Plant. 2006 GM opens a state-of-the-art facility in nearby Delta Charter Township. As with the 2001 assembly plant built in Lansing, the Delta plant resembles a high-tech research facility and not a traditional factory. 2008 Accident Fund Insurance Company of America announces the renovation of the Ottawa Street Power Station and addition of modern buildings connected by an atrium for their new headquarters. 2009 the city's sesquicentennial is celebrated. 2009 Auto Owners Insurance Company announces it will invest $105.3 million into expanding its Lansing headquarters and adding 800 new jobs. 2010 the U Development Company announces they will be spending $24 million to renovate the landmark Knapp's building in downtown Lansing. 2010 Kiplinger names Lansing one of the 10 great cities for young adults. Geography: Lansing is the centerpiece of a region of Michigan known as Mid-Michigan or Central Michigan. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 36.68 square miles, of which 36.05 square miles is land and 0.63 square miles is water. This figure includes 425 agreements with Eaton Township and Meridian Township, and the 425 agreements with Delta Township since 2000. Under Michigan law, 425 agreements are only temporary land-sharing agreements, and do not count as official annexations. The Census Bureau, however, for statistical purposes, does count these as annexations. Not counting the temporary 425 agreements, Lansing administers 34.1 square miles total. Lansing is located in the south-central part of the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, where the Grand River meets the Red Cedar River. The city occupies most of what had formerly been part of Lansing Charter Township. It has also annexed adjacent tracts of land in Delta Charter Township and Windsor Township in Eaton County to the west, Delhi Charter Township in Ingham County to the south, and in DeWitt Charter Township in Clinton County to the north. The city also controls 3 non-contiguous tracts of land through 425 agreements with Meridian Charter Township, Delta Charter Township, and Eden Township in Ingham County to the southeast. Lansing elevations range between 890 feet above sea level on the far south side of Lansing along Northrop Street near the Cedar Street intersection, to 833 feet to 805.5 feet above sea level along the Grand River. The Grand River, the largest river in Michigan, flows through downtown Lansing, and the Red Cedar River, a tributary of the Grand, flows through the campus of Michigan State University to its confluence with the Grand in Lansing. Sycamore Creek, a tributary of the Red Cedar, flows northward through the southeastern part of the city. There are 2 lakes in the area, Park Lake and Lake Lansing, both northeast of the city. Lake Lansing is approximately 500 acres in size and is a summer favorite for swimmers, boaters, and fishermen. Michigan State University Sailing Club and the Lansing Sailing Club are located on Lake Lansing, where sailing regattas are hosted throughout the summer. The city of Lansing operates a total of 3.6 square miles of parkland, of which 2.8 square miles is parkland, 0.5 square miles are golf lands, and 0.3 square miles are cemetery lands. This figure includes the Waverly Hills Golf Course and adjacent Michigan Avenue Park, which are part of Lansing Township, but operated by the city of Lansing. The figure, however, does not include the Ingham County parklands within the borders of Lansing. Climate Lansing has a Midwestern humid continental climate that is influenced by the Great Lakes, and is part of USDA Hardiness Zone 5B. Winters are cold with moderate to heavy snowfall, while summers are very warm and humid. The monthly daily average temperature in July is 71.5 degrees Fahrenheit, while the same figure for January is 23.4 degrees Fahrenheit. The annual mean is 48.21 degrees Fahrenheit. On average, temperatures reach or exceed 90 degrees Fahrenheit on 8.8 days of the year and drop to or below 0 degrees Fahrenheit on 10-11 nights. Precipitation is generally greatest during summer but still frequent and significant in winter. Snowfall, which normally occurs from November to April, averages 51.1 inches per season, significantly less than areas to the west such as Grand Rapids, as Lansing is relatively immune to lake effect snows. Seasonal snowfall has historically ranged from 16.6 in 1863-64 to 97.2 in 1880-81. The highest and lowest officially recorded temperatures were 103 degrees Fahrenheit on July 6, 2012, and 37 degrees Fahrenheit on February 2, 1868, with the last 20 degrees Fahrenheit or colder reading occurred on February 27, 1994. The record low maximum is 4 degrees Fahrenheit on January 22, 1883, while, conversely, the record high minimum is 78 degrees Fahrenheit on August 1, 2006 and July 18, 1942. Freezing temperatures in June are exceedingly rare and have not occurred in July or August since the 19th century. On average, they arrive on October 4 and depart on May 7, allowing a growing season of 149 days. The average window for measurable snow is November 4 through April 6. Neighborhoods. The city's downtown is dominated by state government buildings, especially the state capitol. But downtown has also experienced recent growth in new restaurants, retail stores and residential developments. Downtown Lansing has a historic city market that is one of the oldest continuously operating farmers markets in the United States. Upriver and north of downtown is historic Old Town Lansing with many architecturally significant buildings dating to the mid-19th century. Directly south of downtown on the other side of I-496 along Washington Avenue lies Town, the birthplace of the automobile in the United States, is where Ransom E. Lyod's built factories along Washington Avenue. Ransom E. Lyod's home, which once overlooked the factories along Washington Avenue, was displaced by I-496. Lansing is generally divided into 4 sections: east, west, northwest, and the south side. Each section contains a diverse array of neighborhoods. The east, located east of the Grand River and north of the Red Cedar River, is the most ethnically diverse side of Lansing, with foreign-born citizens making up more of its population than any other side in the city. The East's commercial districts are located mainly along Michigan Avenue, and to a lesser extent along Kalamazoo Street. It is anchored by Franda Shopping Center on the very eastern edge of the East. The West, roughly located north, west, and south of the Grand River as it curves through the city, is sometimes regarded the city's most socio-economically diverse section. This side also contains Lansing's downtown area, though this neighborhood is often included as an area all its own. Outside downtown, this side is largely a collection of residential neighborhoods and is served by only one other commercial area along Saginaw Street. However, it also includes a small part of the Old Town Commercial Association. The Northwest, generally located north of the Grand River, with the city limits defining its north and western borders, is physically the smallest side of the city. This part of the city includes moderate-density residential areas and some green areas. North of Grand River Avenue, the main street of the side, lie warehouses and light industrial areas served by a major rail line that runs through Lansing. The most notable landmark of this side is Lansing's airport, Capital Region International Airport. The south side, usually described as the neighborhoods located south of the Grand and Red Cedar Rivers and the I-496 freeway, is physically the largest and most populous side of the city. The area is largely residential in nature, and is served by numerous commercial strips along Cedar Street, Martin Luther King, Jr. Boulevard, Pennsylvania Avenue, and Waverly Road, which run north-south. The large Edgewood district is located in the southernmost part of the south side and is sometimes referred to as South Lansing. Though it is the largest area of the city by both physical size and population, it has often been regarded by South Side citizens as Lansing's most overlooked and forgotten area, as most of Lansing's attention in recent decades has been put into the revitalization of the city's historic core located mostly on small parts of both the east and wests. The middle of the south side south-central Lansing contains the old Everett area. This location once contained the Everett School District and was annexed in the city in 1948. Districts Cherry Hill, Churchill Downs, Colonial Village, East, Edgewood, Genesee, Jaya Park, Hosmer, Moores Park, Museum District, Old Everett, Old Town, REO Town, Stadium District, Walnut, Washington Square, West. Demographics 2010 Census As of the census of 2010, there were 114,297 people, 48,450 households, and 26,234 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,174.9 per square mile. There were 54,181 housing units at an average density of 1,505.0 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 61.2% white, 23.7% African American, 0.8% Native American, 3.7% Asian, 0.04% Pacific Islander, 4.3% from other races, and 6.2% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 12.5% of the population. Foreign-born residents made up 8.3% of the population. The median age in the city was 32.2 years. 24.2% of residents were under the age of 18. 12.3% were between the ages of 18 and 24. 30.2% were from 25 to 44. 23.8% were from 45 to 64. And 9.7% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 48.4% male and 51.6% female. 2000 Census As of the census of 2000, there were 119,128 people, 49,505 households, and 28,366 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,399.0 per square mile. There were 53,159 housing units at an average density of 1,516.8 square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 65.28% white, 21.91% African American, 0.80% Native American, 2.83% Asian, 0.05% Pacific Islander, 4.54% from other races, and 4.60% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 10.0% of the population. The city's foreign-born population stood at 5.9%. As of 2000, the city's population rose by 32,293 to 151,421 during the day due to the influx of workers. There were 49,505 households, out of which 30.0% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 35.8% were married couples living together, 17.0% had a female householder with no husband present, and 42.7% were non-families. 33.2% of all households were made up of individuals and 8.1% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.39 and the average family size was 3.08. In the city, the population was spread out with 26.8% under the age of 18, 11.4% from 18 to 24, 32.7% from 25 to 44, 19.3% from 45 to 64 and 9.7% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 31 years. For every 100 females there were 92.3 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 87.9 males. The median income for a household in the city was $34,833, and the median income for a family was $41,283. Males had a median income of $32,648 versus $27,051 for females. The per capita income for the city was $17,924. About 13.2% of families and 16.9% of the population were below the poverty line, including 23.2% of those under age 18 and 9.0% of those age 65 or over. Immigration and refugee resettlement. The Brookings Institution has ranked Greater Lansing among the top 10 medium-sized metropolitan areas in the United States for refugee resettlement, with 5,369 refugees resettled from 1983 to 2004. St. Vincent Catholic Charities and Lutheran Social Services handle the adult and unaccompanied minor resettlement processes, respectively, while other organizations, such as the Refugee Development Center, focus on providing educational and social support services to refugees in the Lansing area. Nearby Michigan State University provides a source of volunteers for many of these programs. Government. Lansing is administered under a mayor-council government, more specifically a strong mayor setup in which the mayor holds most of the city's administrative powers, such as appointment of department heads and drafting and administering a city budget, though the council must approve his/her actions. The mayor is elected at large every 4 years. The city clerk is also elected every 4 years. The city council consists of 8 members, and includes 4 members elected from the city's 4 wards, as well as 4 at-large members elected citywide. Politics. The city largely supports the Democratic Party. It has not had a Republican mayor in office for more than a decade, and the last 2 mayoral elections have hosted only Democratic candidates. State and federal representation. Lansing currently lies mostly within the boundaries of Michigan's 8th Congressional District, which has been represented by Republican Congressman Mike Bishop since 2015. The small portion of the city that extends into Eaton County is located in Michigan's 7th Congressional District, which has been represented by Republican Congressman Tim Walberg since 2011. At the state level, Lansing is located in the 23rd District of the Michigan Senate, which has been represented by Democratic State Senator Curtis Hurtle Jr. since 2015. The small portion of the city that extends into Eaton County is located in the 24th District of the Michigan Senate, which is currently represented by Republican State Senator Rick Jones. The city lies in the 67th, 68th, and 71st Districts of the Michigan State House of Representatives, represented by State Representatives Tom Cochran, Andy Scher, and Tom Barrett. Though Lansing is not a designated county seat, some county offices are located in downtown Lansing, including a branch office of the county clerk, the county personnel office, and some courtrooms. Economy. The Lansing Metropolitan Area's major industries are government, education, insurance, healthcare, and automobile manufacturing. Being the state capital, many state government workers reside in the area. Michigan State University, Thomas M. Cooley Law School, and Lansing Community College are significant employers in the region. General Motors has offices and a high-tech manufacturing facility in Lansing and several manufacturing facilities immediately outside the city, as well, in nearby Lansing and Delta townships. The Lansing area is headquarters to 4 major national insurance companies: Auto Owners Insurance Company, Jackson National Life, the Accident Fund, and Michigan Millers Insurance Company. Other insurers based in Lansing include Farm Bureau Insurance of Michigan. Locally owned and operated convenience store chain Quality Dairy is a significant presence in the Lansing market. The recent decline of the auto industry in the region has increased the region's awareness of the importance of a strategy to foster the high-technology sector. Early availability of high-speed internet in 1996, as well as the MSU, Cooley Law School, and Lansing Community College student body population, fostered an intellectual environment for information technology companies to incubate. Lansing has a number of technology companies in the fields of information technology and biotechnology. Healthcare. Sparrow Hospital is a 740-bed hospital affiliated with Michigan State University and its College of Human Medicine and College of Osteopathic Medicine. In February 2009 it was announced that Sparrow and MSU formalized their partnership to increase research and faculty recruitment. Sparrow Hospital is the regional center for pediatrics, cancer care, including radiation therapy, trauma care, neurological care, high-risk obstetrics and neonatal intensive care. The Sparrow Tower was finished January 2008 and includes but is not limited to, a dedicated pediatric emergency room, the largest adult emergency room in the region, state-of-the-art operating rooms, a rooftop helipad, oncology center, heart and vascular center and orthopedic department. In addition, 4,500 deliveries are performed at Sparrow Hospital annually. Rehabilitation and emergency treatment is more than any other hospital in mid-Michigan. The Sparrow Health System Laboratory performs over 3 million tests per year, at various laboratory sites, which include 4 remote testing facilities and 13 patient service centers. Sparrow Hospital is certified as a Level I trauma center by the American College of Surgeons. In May 2009 Sparrow announced that it now has its own helicopter service based at its downtown Lansing Hospital's new $2.5 million helipad. The addition is expected to increase helicopter patient transport to the hospital from 4 a month to 400 a year. McLaren Greater Lansing Hospital is also a university-affiliated teaching hospital. Ingham enjoys a special affiliation in radiation oncology with the University of Michigan and Michigan State University. McLaren Greater Lansing is part of the Great Lakes Cancer Institute. McLaren received 5-star ratings for coronary bypass surgery, cardiac interventions, treatment of heart attacks, total knee replacement, total hip replacement, back and neck surgery, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease care, community-acquired pneumonia care, urban renewal and downtown redevelopment several urban renewal projects by private developers are adding higher-end apartments and condominiums to the Lansing market. The Arbor, a former department store across from Cooley Law School, was converted into apartments in 2005. Motor Wheel Lofts, a former industrial site, was converted into loft-style living spaces in mid-2006. A combination retail and residential complex immediately south of Cooley Law School Stadium called the Stadium District, was completed in 2007. The Stadium District was redeveloped using a grant from the Michigan State Housing Development Authority through the Cool Cities Initiative. In May 2006 the historically significant Mutual building located on Capitol Avenue was purchased by the Chrisman Company to be renovated back to its original grandeur and used as the company's headquarters. Additional downtown developments include the renovation of the historic Hollister Building and the expansion of the former Abrams Aerial Building. As of August 2008, an 18-story condominium high-rise called Capitol Club Tower was in the design phase with the adjacent parking structure having been approved by City Council and purchased by the developer. The City Market, in existence since 1909, was approved to be sold for a multi-building mixed-use development called Marketplace, right next to the current market on the adjacent riverfront. The Marketplace project was redeveloped along with Ballpark North, another mixed-use development that will be immediately north of Oldsmobile Stadium. The new City Market is just north of the Lansing Center, across the river from where the Accident Fund Insurance Company renovated the former Ottawa Street Power Plant into their new headquarters. In addition to the renovation, Accident Fund Insurance Company built a modern addition to the north of the historic portion that is connected by an atrium for more office space, as well as a parking structure. In 2009, the restaurant Tropo began construction on a new 2-story building that will have an open-air patio on the roof facing the Capitol building. Developer Ute Company announced plans on April 6, 2010, to renovate the historical and prominent Knapp's building in downtown Lansing for first-floor retail, office space and apartments condos on the top floor in a $22 €24 million project. Top employers and companies headquartered in Lansing. Other major companies headquartered in Lansing include Accident Fund, ACD.net, Big Buy Coffee, Elderly Instruments, Fraser Trebilcock, Go Solutions Group, Incorporated, ICS Marketing Support Services, Lake Trust Credit Union, Liquid Web, and Quality Dairy. Education. Michigan State University, a member of the Big Ten Conference, is known as the Pioneer Land Grant College, located in neighboring East Lansing. MSU has the largest land campus in the United States and is home to several nationally and internationally recognized academic and research-oriented programs. Michigan State offers over 200 programs of study and is home to 14 different degree-granting schools and colleges, including 3 medical schools, a law school, and numerous PhD programs. It is the only university in the nation with 3 medical schools. MSU is consistently one of the top 3 programs in the United States for study abroad programs. The MSU College of Education is also consistently rated as the top education program in the nation. Michigan State University is the oldest agricultural college in the United States. The MSU School of Criminal Justice is the oldest continuous degree-granting criminal justice program in the nation. In 2008, the Department of Energy announced MSU won the contest for a $550 million facility for rare isotope beams that will attract top researchers from around the world to conduct experiments in nuclear science, astrophysics and applications of isotopes to other fields. The Thomas M. Cooley Law School is the largest law school in the nation and is located in downtown Lansing. Cooley is fully accredited by the American Bar Association. A majority of Cooley students are from out of state. Lansing Community College offers more than 500 areas of study to over 18,000 students at its main facilities in Lansing, and another 5,000 students at 29 extension centers and a site in Otsu, Japan. LCC's new, state-of-the-art university center enables students to take courses with the goal of eventually earning an undergraduate or graduate degree from other Michigan institutions. The University Center stands on the former site of Old Central, Lansing's first public high school, which was established in 1875 as Lansing High School. Other institutions of higher education include Western Michigan University, Davenport University in downtown Lansing, Central Michigan University, and Great Lakes Christian College. Primary schools public schools, Lansing School District, Lansing Eastern High School, Lansing Everett High School, J.W. Sexton High School. Grand Ledge Public Schools, Ingham Intermediate School District, Ingham Academy High School. Mid-Michigan Public School Academy, Shabazz Public School Academy, Waverly School District. Private schools, Capital City Baptist School, Lansing Catholic High School, Lansing Christian Schools, New Covenant Christian School, Our Savior Lutheran School. Cultural celebrations. Parades. Each year in August, the Michigan Pride Festival includes a LGBT Pride Parade from Riverfront Park to the Capitol. The Capital City African American Cultural Association hosts an African American Parade and Heritage Festival every year for over a decade. The chair of the CCAACA is the Reverend Dr. Michael C. Murphy, who was pastor of St. Stephen's Community Church and is currently the pastor of People's Congregational, United Church of Christ, Washington, D.C. He is a former state representative for the 68th House District in Michigan, former president of the Lansing City Council, and a longtime community leader. The parade highlights African American culture, its influence in Michigan, and recognizes prominent African American individuals in the community and their contributions to Lansing as the Grand Marshal of each parade. The festival immediately following the parade consists of live entertainment, soul food and lots of fun for adults and children. It is held every year on the first Saturday in August and begins at 11 a.m. in downtown Lansing, Michigan. The festival is held at Ferris Park in downtown Lansing. In 2009 they celebrated 10 years. The annual Silver Bells in the City Electric Light Parade proceeds through the streets of downtown Lansing every November, the Friday before Thanksgiving. It is followed by the lighting of Michigan's official Christmas tree in front of the state capitol and a fireworks show over the state capitol. Music. The Lansing Symphony Orchestra has been entertaining generations of Lansing area residents since 1929. The current music director is Timothy Muffett. The Lansing Jazz Fest and the Old Town Blues Fest host leading musicians, and are two of the larger music festivals held each year in the state. Old Town's Festival of the Moon and Sun is a two-day festival of food and live music. Old Town Oktoberfest is a two-day event drawing hundreds to the Old Town neighborhood for live polka music, authentic German food and world-renowned German-style beer. It was announced in May 2007 that the city would host Blues on the Square, a series of summertime blues concerts featuring national acts Thursday nights along Washington Square in downtown Lansing. In 2008 the event regularly drew crowds over 500. The Common Ground Festival is a musical event held over a week every July at the Adado Riverfront Park in downtown Lansing, pulling in crowds over 90,000 for the week. It began in 2000 and replaced the Michigan Festival that was held in nearby East Lansing. It has a wide range of musical acts. In 2008 acts included Stained, Drowning Pool, Sammy Hagar, The Hard Lestins, Snoop Dogg, REO Speedwagon, Kelly Pickler, Seether and Trace Adkins. Every year City Pulse names the top original act in the Top of the Town Awards. The 2010 winner was East Neighborhood native indie rock band Lown. The 2011 winner was pop-punk act Frank and Ernest. Points of interest. Farmers markets equals. Lansing has several farmers markets throughout the city in the summer months. These markets include the Allen Street Farmers Market on the city's east, the West Farmers Market, the Old Town Farmers Market, the South Lansing Farmers Market, and the year-round historic Lansing City Market located near downtown. The Lansing City Market has built a brand new $1.6 million facility on the riverfront in downtown Lansing where it will continue its year-round operations providing specialty items in addition to regular groceries from over 30 vendors. Libraries The Library of Michigan and Historical Center is a highly regarded state library and research center. The library is one of the top 5 genealogical research facilities in the United States. The Capital Area District Library has 13 branches within Ingham County. Some of these include, the Main Library downtown, the Foster Library on the east side, and the South Lansing Library on the south side. Lansing Art Gallery The Lansing Art Gallery, founded in 1965, is Lansing's oldest art gallery and a non-profit membership organization. Showcasing the works of Michigan artists, the gallery is committed to providing cultural enhancement opportunities for Michigan residents. The museum is open to the public with free admission. Lansing Time Capsule The Lansing Time Capsule, also known as the Lansing 150 Time Capsule Project, is currently in progress in Lansing as part of the Lansing 150 sesquicentennial celebration marking the city's 150th birthday. The capsule will be enclosed within an art sculpture in downtown Lansing, to be opened in 2159 in the city's 300th year. The Lansing Time Capsule Committee convened in autumn of 2009 to set the list of objects to be included in the time capsule. A film documenting the process, Encapsulating Time, was created by graduate students in the American Studies program at Michigan State University. The film itself and a companion text will be included among the time capsule's objects. For more information about encapsulating time, refer to the film key. Museums Lansing is home to a number of small, specialized museums. The Impression 5 Science Center is a children's science center located in a historic wagon works factory on the Grand River. The Michigan Library and Historical Center contains one of the 10 largest genealogy collections in the nation, has a museum dedicated to Michigan's history among other attractions. The Michigan Women's Hall of Fame is a museum dedicated to the historical accomplishments and achievements of Michigan women. The house is located directly south of downtown in the 1903-built Cooley Hayes House. The museum is surrounded by Cooley Gardens. The R.E. Olds Transportation Museum is dedicated to the education of Lansing's role in the development of transportation, particularly the automobile. The Turner Dodge House is a museum dedicated to Lansing's early pioneers. The museum sits in the classical revival-styled Turner Dodge Mansion, built in 1858 for James and Marion Turner, and later by their daughter and her husband. It is on the National Register of Historic Places. Nightlife. There are many bars and clubs in downtown Lansing and the surrounding neighborhoods. Bars and clubs in downtown include Mac's Bar and the Loft, Suits, The Firm, Tavern on the Square, 621, Excel, The Exchange, Harems, Rum Runners, Moriarty's, Nut House, Arts and the Green Door to name just a few. Many of these bars and clubs have live bands. The Green Door is a blues bar that has live bands 7 nights a week. Theatre. The Riverwalk Theatre, the Lansing Civic Players, and the now-defunct Boar's Head Theatre were all located in downtown. Peppermint Creek Theatre Company is a well-established new award-winning theatre company. Hapendance, Michigan's longest-running professional modern dance company, has been based in Greater Lansing since 1976. The Greater Lansing Ballet Company is an award-winning ballet and dance company. The Creole Gallery brings in various musicians and hosts the Icarus Falling Theatre Group. Potter Park Zoo. The historic Potter Park Zoo, located along the Red Cedar River in Lansing, has more than 500 animals and numerous programs and events for children and families. With annual attendance increasing every year since 2006, there are $667,100 in capital improvements planned for 2009, including a giant walk-in aviary and a new female tiger. In 2009, the zoo began a $1.4 million renovation to its rhinoceros exhibit. This is in addition to $1.3 million spent on capital improvements in 2008. Other area destinations. In October 2009, the Wharton Center for Performing Arts completed a 24,000 square feet, $18.5 million expansion and renovation, having already spent over $1.3 million in 2008. Many Broadway shows come to the Wharton Center before traveling to theaters in larger places such as Chicago. The Craig Art Museum, the Msu Museum, and the Abrams Planetarium are highly acclaimed cultural destinations located on the campus of Michigan State University in East Lansing. In June 2007, MSU announced the plans to build a new art museum after a $26 million gift from Eli and Edith Broad. Internationally known Pritzker Prize-winning architect Zaha Hadid of London won the design competition for the East Lansing Museum that was completed in November 2012. Media. Newspapers and magazines. Lansing State Journal, City Pulse, Review Mid-Michigan, The New Citizens Press, Capital Gains Media, Capital Area Women's Lifestyle Magazine, The Greater Lansing Business Monthly, Greater Lansing Woman Magazine, The Hub, MIRS News, Michigan Information and Research Service, The State News, Gongwa News Service, The Michigan Bulletin, Patient in Charge Magazine. Television. Cable slots listed reflect the Comcast cable system in Lansing. WLNS 6, WILX 10, WHTV 18, WKAR 23, WSYM 47, WLAJ 53/DT2, WILX maintains WSYM's news programming. Both affiliates broadcast their newscasts at the News 10 studios in Lansing. Often the same reporters are used on both broadcasts. Radio. Lansing's radio dial has quite a few stations. Note: if the station has no city listed before the format, it is licensed to Lansing, 88.1 WLGH Euro Smile FM, 88.5 WJOM Euro Smile FM, 88.9 WDBM Euro The Impact, 89.7 WLNZ Euro, 90.5 WKAR Euro. Note: WKAR runs with 86,000 watts. 91.3 WOS Euro, 92.1 WQTX Euro The Team, 92.9 WLMI Euro Lansing's Greatest Hits, 93.7 WBCT FM Euro B93. Note: WBCT runs with 320,000 watts. 94.1 WWDK Euro, 94.1 The Edge, 94.9 WMMQ Euro, 96.5 WQHH Euro Power, 96.5, 97.5 WJIM a Euro 97-5 Now FM, 99.1 WFMK a Euro, 99.9 W260BX Family Life Radio, rebroadcasts WUNN 1110 AM. 100.7 WITL FM a Euro Whittle, 101.7 WHZZ a Euro Mike FM, 105.7 WSRW a Eurostar 10557, 106.1 WJXQ a Euro Q106, 107.3 WBBL FM a Euro, 730 AM WVFN a Euro The Game, 870 AM WKAR a Euro, 1110 AM WUNN a Euro Family Life Radio, 1180 AM WXLA a Euro Dimondale, Timeless Classics 1180, 1240 AM WJIM a Euro Lansing's Big Talker, 1320 AM WILS a Euro More Compelling Talk, 1390 AM WLCM a Euro, 1580 AM WWSJ a Euro Joy 1580, 162.400 WXK 81 a Euro NOAA Weather Radio, radio stations from Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Saginaw, and Flint can also be heard in the Lansing area. Sports: the Lansing Lugnuts are a Class A Midwest League, minor league baseball team, currently affiliated with the Toronto Blue Jays. The team plays its home games at Cooley Law School Stadium, which was built at a cost of $12.7 million and opened in 1996 in downtown Lansing. It was partially renovated in 2006. Cooley Law School Stadium has a seating capacity of 11,215 fans, and was built to accommodate additional expansion. The team has won 2 Midwest League championships, their first in 1997 and their second in 2003. Previously known as Oldsmobile Park, the facility was renamed Thomas M. Cooley Law School Stadium in April 2010, in reference to the park's new sponsor. The Summit at the Capitol Center is a hockey arena and convention center located in the suburb of Dimondale that hosts youth and high school hockey. The Lansing Capitals began play in the International Basketball League in 2006 but eventually disbanded for a few seasons. The team recently resumed playing in the newly formed Independent Basketball Association in 2011. Michigan State University, located in East Lansing, is the largest university in the state of Michigan. MSU sponsors both men's and women's sports, usually competing as a member of the Big Ten Conference. The Spartans have won national titles in men's basketball, football, men's boxing, men's cross-country, men's gymnastics, men's ice hockey, men's soccer, and men's wrestling. On November 27, 2011, MSU beat Northwestern in their Big Ten football finale to secure the top Big Ten record at 7-1 in conference play, and qualified to play in the first-ever Big Ten football championship game, which was held December 3, 2011, at Lucas Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana against the Wisconsin Badgers. Lansing Community College also sponsors many sports, competing as members of the Michigan Community College Athletic Association. The Stars have won NJCAA titles in the following sports: women's softball, men's basketball, men's cross-country, women's marathon and men's marathon. The Lansing area is also known for its many golf courses, with 2 courses owned by Michigan State University, 4 municipal courses, and many additional public and private courses in the area. Walnut Hills Country Club in nearby East Lansing formerly hosted the LPGA's Oldsmobile Classic from 1992 to 2000. The Michigan PGA recently relocated from the Detroit area to Bath, Michigan, which is on the northern edge of Lansing. In the 1980s and 1990s, Lansing was a major player in semi-pro football. The Lansing Crusaders won MFL-MCFL championships in 1982, 1983, 1985, 1987, 1989, and 1990. The team finished second in 1984, 1986, and 1991. Other past sports teams include Lansing a Euro Michigan State League a Euro 1889 to 1890, Lansing Senators a Euro Michigan State League a Euro 1895 and 1902, Southern Michigan League a Euro 1907 to 1914, Central League a Euro 1921 to 1922, renamed the Lansing Lancers a Euro Michigan State League a Euro 1940, and then back as the Lansing Senators a Euro Michigan State League a Euro 1941. Lansing Capitals a Euro North American Basketball League a Euro 1966 a Euro 67 to 1967 a Euro 68, Lansing Lancers a Euro International Hockey League a Euro 1974 to 1975, Capital City Cardinals a Euro Michigan Charity Football League a Euro 1980, Lansing Crusaders a Euro Michigan Charity Football League a Euro 1980 to 1988, Michigan Football League a Euro 1989 to 1994. Capital City Cowboys a Euro Michigan Football League a Euro 1992, Lansing Ice Nuts a Euro International Independent Hockey League a Euro 2003 to 2004. Transportation Airports Scheduled commercial airline service is offered from Capital Region International Airport. Delta Airlines maintains routes to Detroit, Minneapolis-St. Paul, and Atlanta. United Airlines maintains routes to Chicago O'Hare. Allegiant Air flies to Orlando, Florida. Sun Country Airlines offers non-stop flights to Washington, D.C. and Minneapolis-St. Paul. Apple Vacations provides seasonal flights to Cancun, Mexico. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. UPS is a freight hub at Capital Region International Airport, making up part of the £42 million of annual cargo moving through the airport. In 2008 the airport received a port of entry designation a Euro known as Port Lansing a Euro, and now has a permanent customs facility, thus changing its name to reflect the port of entry status. The same year a 500-foot extension to the largest of the three runways a Euro now 8,506 foot a Euro was completed to allow for larger aircraft to use the airport. Major highways I-69 runs from Indianapolis north to Lansing and east to Flint and Port Huron, connecting to Canada. I-96 runs from Muskegon, past Grand Rapids and Lansing, to Detroit. I-496 loops through downtown Lansing, connecting with I-96 on either end. BLI-69 is a loop route running through Lansing and East Lansing. BLI-96 is a loop route running through Lansing. Capital Loop a loop route off I-496 serving the state capital and other downtown facilities. US 127 is a northern Euro-South highway passing between the city and neighboring East Lansing, continuing northerly toward Clare and Grayling and southerly toward Jackson, Michigan and into Ohio. M43, M99. Railways Amtrak provides intercity passenger rail service at a stop in nearby East Lansing, on the Blue Water Line from Chicago to Port Huron. 4 freight railroads serve Lansing including Canadian National Railway, CSX Transportation, Norfolk Southern Railway, and Jackson and Lansing Railroad. Public transportation Capital Area Transportation Authority provides public transit bus service to the Lansing East Lansing Metropolitan Area on 33 routes. CATA boasts the second highest ridership in the state of Michigan after Detroit with 53,000 daily rides in September 2008 and 306,339 rides in fiscal year 2008. CATA also provides paratransit services through Spectran and the Night Owl. Also, the Entertainment Express runs Thursday through Saturday from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. connecting downtown Lansing's and East Lansing's entertainment districts. CATA won APTA's America's Best Transit Award in the medium-size category in 2007. CATA has 2 transportation centers, one in downtown Lansing and one on the campus of Michigan State University. In 2010, a study was conducted to consider ways of enhancing the Lansing to East Lansing route, with options including enhanced bus service, single-car trolley service and light rail service. Greyhound Lines provides intercity bus service. CATA and Greyhound are both located in the CATA Transportation Center in downtown Lansing. Several taxicab companies serve the area. In 2001, Big Daddy Taxi opened using large vans to address the safety concerns of drunk driving and offered $3 rides for students of Michigan State University. In 2008, the Green Cab Company opened using Toyota Prius hybrid cars to provide green cabs to Lansing. The Michigan Flyer provides bus service between Lansing and Detroit Metro Airport 12 times daily, with a stop in Ann Arbor along the way. Bicycling the 13-mile, non-motorized Lansing River Trail runs along the Grand River and the Red Cedar River, running as far east as Michigan State University, and passes Potter Park Zoo, the Capitol Loop, and several other destinations of interest, and as far west as Moores Park. The trail is accessible at many points along it, some with car parking lots. The trail's breadth is extended from time to time. Currently, the trailheads are, north, Dietrich Park; east, Kircher Park; south, McGuire Park; west, Moores Park. All segments are hard-surfaced. The river trail connects to other pathways trails in the Lansing metro area: east, Michigan State University Path System; south, Sycamore Trail. Since the trail follows a river, most street crossings use platforms under existing street bridges to provide an uncommon amount of grade separation, to the benefit of both trail users and automobile traffic. As of February 2015, the river trail is under construction to add paths as far as Holt. Utilities: water supply, power and steam are municipally owned utilities which are provided by Lansing Board of Water and Light. In 2008, the Lansing BWL constructed Michigan's largest solar array towards the goal of increasing renewable energy in the energy grid. Natural gas is provided by Consumers Energy. Notable people. In popular culture, the film Tape is set in a hotel room in Lansing. A film Tooth Fairy's main character, Derek Thompson, is a minor league hockey player for the fictitious Lansing Ice Wolves. In the current continuity of DC Comics, Lansing is the hometown of Jay Garrick, the Earth 2 Flash. Sister cities: Lansing has 6 sister cities, as designated by Sister Cities International: Aguirre, Ghana; Guadalajara, Mexico; Oetsu, Shiga Prefecture, Japan; Saltillo, Mexico; Sanming, Fujian, China; Asan, South Korea. Lansing was a sister city of Kobayashi District in St. Petersburg, Russia. The agreement began in 1992 and ended in practice when a change to the political structure of St. Petersburg canceled the district. The relations were officially severed by Lansing in 2013 as a protest of the laws against LGBT rights in Russia. Lansing has 4 friendship cities: Cosenza, Italy; Lansha, Gansu, China; Sakade, Japan; Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Notes. References. Further reading: Balaskovitz, Andy. Despite hurdles, consolidating Lansing, East Lansing and Lansing Township makes sense. Lansing City Pulse. Wednesday, November 28, 2012. News section. Available on Newsbank, record number 33658 E6F3E435749C466E59BF44DD1B69275 External links. City of Lansing official website, Greater Lansing Convention and Visitors Bureau, Great Lakes Capital Fund promotes affordable housing and community economic development activities in Lansing, The Lansing Republican, excerpts from 1859 editions, Lansing Travel Guide from Waikiki Voyage, Lansing. The American Cyclopedia. 1879.